Hey, it's Security with Scott. I'm Scott Beck, co-star of the Amazon Prime documentary Cybercrime and two-time best-selling author, CEO of Beck Tech, a cybersecurity and IT support firm, and score one for the good guys. You know, cybercrime, the reason it's so attractive is the risk of being caught is so low. And there's lots of reasons for that. If you stop and think about it, jurisdiction by law enforcement. I mean, maybe the hacker is sitting in Russia and they've broken into a banking system in the United States, but then the funds that they've stolen have gone to 7 other different countries. Who's responsible for investigating those crimes? The crimes have become kind of borderless, and law enforcement is still generally scrambling to try to catch up to figure this stuff out. But we got a victory. The FBI and European authorities have taken down a website called WeLink Info. Now, what was WeLink Info? You know, there's some services out there that you can log in and put in your email address to find out if you have been compromised on the dark web. I've been pawned is one such site. But with different breaches that come up or different banking sites that have been compromised, whatever the case is, there are some legitimate sites out there. You go, you put in your email address, and they'll take a look at the database and tell you if you've been compromised or not. Key with that is you put in your information and it searches. You don't get access to the whole database. Well, WeLeakInfo.com, kind of something similar, except what they were doing was selling for as little as $2 access to like 15 billion with a B. It's 15 billion stolen records. We're talking usernames and passwords and email addresses and credit card information. It was basically like they were taking a little chunk of the dark web and bringing it online and selling it to anybody. Now, they got a little bit too brazen, and that's why they kind of fell into the crosshairs of law enforcement. But this site has now been taken down. And score one, as I said, for the good guys, yay. Scary, though, that they had 15 billion pieces of information for sale. Let that sink in for a second. That's a lot of stuff. A lot of people that got compromised. And, of course, you say, well, Scott, what would someone do when you go to those sites? And if you'd spent the $2 or $5 or whatever it was to get a chunk of that list and get access into it, well, identity theft. Maybe there would be somebody driving around with a brand new Ford F-150 in the Ukraine in your name. It could be anything. I mean, they can use it to compromise further or get further along the chain. It can get scary. They could use it for their own phishing attacks to do scams. I mean, you're kind of getting the idea. With that amount of information, a lot of bad things could happen. So kudos to the FBI and European law enforcement for getting that website down. Another interesting new website had popped up. I'm not going to give out the address, but basically they were saying that they were part of the U.S. Trade Commission. Anyways, it purported if you go to the website and you would have to enter in your mobile telephone number and your social security number, and they would do a scan and see if you were compromised or on a list. Now, what was the big take on this one? Well, let's say you went in there, you put in a fake telephone number, or you put in a fake social insurance number to find out if you qualify. Yeah, because this is what they were doing. They were qualifying you for refunds from the government. They were offering free money is what they were doing. That's the basis of the scam. They trick you to get to the website either through a phishing webmail or a text message or a social media post. They get there and they're promising free money. All you got to do is fill out the form and they'll take a look and see if the government owes you money. All right? Pretty good concept. Everybody likes free money. So an interesting little hook that they're using to try to pull people in. So the interesting thing that researchers, when they found this site was, it didn't matter if you put in a fake telephone number, if you put in a fake social insurance number, you qualified. Free money. Everybody. Money for you, money for you, money for you. Everybody's getting money, baby. But you got to spend $9. Yeah, right. You got to give them $9 for them to give you the information. So what they're looking for, well, potentially, is, of course, to get your credit card information, which they can use to then try to go and steal you blind. And the other funny thing I found with the website was, let's say you said you didn't have a social security number, right? So maybe they got a Canadian that landed on the website. We've got social insurance numbers in Canada. We don't have social security numbers. Not a problem. That same $9, they will give you a temporary social security number. How generous of them. So even if you don't have one, not a problem. They'll give it to you as part of the $9. Darn decent fellas. So how would you qualify for the money back if you didn't have a social security number to begin with? Right. But unfortunately, they do these scams because some people will fall for it. That draw of the free money is just too alluring to pass up, and people end up putting their stuff in there. So, yay for the good guys. They got that website down. That 15 billion pieces of personal information is now offline, and we're exposing this new, unusual type scam on a website so that you guys can stay safe.